Okay. Good evening. Can you hear me? Evening. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Joe. Okay. Last week, before that, you have exam. What is your exam date? Tuesday, no? Now your paper is ready. I will show you paper structure. I hope you all score more than last exam. Last week, first week, more than first week exam, right? Exam, yeah, Tuesday morning. All you all free, right? Do you have class? Anyone? Tuesday morning, 8:30. No classes, right? Dini? No classes, right? Good. Oh, you can do 4 more days. You have 4 days. You can ready. You have 30 MCQ. It's 1 hour. 30 MCQ questions. Easy paper. And 4 essay questions. 4 essay question. This time, no questions. You have little bit good coordinate geometry question. Coordinate geometry, and in math section you have only one question. Math ekai. Okay, that's your paper structure. You have 3 hours. 3 hours to complete this. I hope to give you 3 hours and 15 minutes additionally as a reading time. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Now you can read MCQ all lessons, from all lessons, and essay questions. Wait, I can't remember. Yeah, first question based on me coordinate geometry. The second question based on P6. It's a combination question. It I will show you. Yeah, first question from maths. The second question from biodiesel. Biodiesel, that mean the first part of the industry chemistry. I told to prepare a short note, right? Short note taking කරන්න පුළුවන්. Third question from combination of physics. Combination of physics. හරි. ඔය ටික තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Easy paper. All you can score very well, but the essay part little bit advanced. You have to prepare. පොඩ්ඩක් class වෙන්න වෙනවා. හරිද? For essay questions. හරි. Okay, I hope to give you marks as soon as possible and discuss same paper on Tuesday evening. Okay, we discussing about industrial chemistry. Before that, before go to remain part, I will introduce our plan. Now we have 100 days only. So හරියටම දවස් 100ක් වගේ තියෙන exam එකට. Your exam starting date 10th of August. 10th of August, most probably 12th of August starting by BST or ET, your first subject. After I think 18th of August, you have SFT first paper. 18th or 19th. Yeah, 18th or 19th. Okay, you have only 100 or 90 days. 90 days, Kim? Okay, 90 days. In our theory class, now we have completed 16 lessons. 17. Yeah, 17 lessons. We have They are the remain lessons. Natural products, it's a small lesson like industrial chemistry. Within 2 weeks, we can complete natural products. Our next lesson. And the cell structure is the most, it's very easy, but it's a very long lesson. Very long lesson. I hope to discuss complete with some additional time cell structure. Cell structure and polymer. Fourth one, fluid mechanism. Fluid mechanism. Fifth one, environment chemistry. Environment chemistry. We have 3 more months. 3 more months, but our target before end of July complete all these 5 lessons. July not July, June. We have only 2 months. Okay, my plan is okay, natural products and fluid mechanism. Natural products and fluid mechanism we can discuss, we can complete within this month, May. Today we can complete the industrial chemistry. Okay, natural products and fluid mechanism, I will post both theory with polymer lesson. The polymer lesson is a simple, easy lesson, short lesson. And I will send this whole complete tunes. May tune mama tunes tika evanava letter within this month. Then the remain lessons that we can discuss freely in final month, June, next month. Okay. Polymer lesson and polymer lesson, you have only 4 hour recorded class. I will send you the tune. This is a polymer tune. It's a very simple tune. Yeah, this is a polymer tune. No spaces. I have prepared full lesson. Full lesson without any part miss. All structures given. Okay, I will give you a 4 hour recorded class. Then the entire polymer lesson will be completed. It's very short and easy lesson. Polymer lesson completed within. Yeah, in a free time I will give you within this month the polymer lesson recording, and I will send this tute into your home. After that, I will send as same tute pack. I will send natural product and fluid mechanism tute as well. In the live class, we can discuss natural product and fluid mechanism. Then within May, this month, we can complete all 3 lessons: fluid mechanism, polymers, and natural products. Cell structure and environment chemistry, we can discuss next month. Okay, then and after that, after June, in July, final month, we can discuss papers and practicals. Then you can ready for the exam very big. Okay, this is our plan. Now you have to prepare a plan yourself. How to revise all lessons within this final 90 days. I'm a revise karandoni, not only complete. You have to revise again measurement, starting from measurement, area, volume. All lessons you have revised and practice questions again, right? I hope you all prepare short notes now. All lessons. Short notes hadala ætti කියලා මම හිතනවා. හරි. Okay. Let's start. Okay. Last week we discussed about soap production and biodiesel production, completely discussed, right? No any small part missing. Without any missing, all parts, all purification method and production steps clearly I explained, right? Do you have any doubt in soap or biodiesel production? And you all prepared short note? I've done. Amina? Short note? I told prepare a short note with similarities and differences between soap production and biodiesel production on 2 papers. කොළ දෙකකට ගන්න කියලා කිව්වා. සර්මියා, you done? Tanya? Good. Dihini? Karal? Ranga? Fatima? Okay, actually, if you prepare a short note, both soap production and biodiesel production, that's enough. A short note එක ටික මතකයි නම් ඇති. That enough. You don't need to remember all points, don't need to by heart. If you can remember this basic important point, you can manage and you can answer any type of questions, and you can try. You can find soap production, biodiesel production, past paper questions, and you can try. Try කරලා බලන්න. හරි. Okay. Our third production process, paint production. Paint production. Third production process, paint production. Okay. Do you remember the chemical reaction name of soap production? What's the chemical reaction name of soap production? Rehla. In soap production, what is the chemical reaction name? Ranga? What's the chemical reaction name of soap production? Specific name? Good. It's saponification. In biodiesel production, what is the chemical reaction name? Biodiesel production, what is the chemical reaction name? Sarmia? Transesterification. Very good. Very, very good. Transesterification. Good. Okay. Why every production process, they have specific chemical reaction name and chemical reaction. They have the production specific chemical reaction, right? So production, saponification. In saponification, triglyceride and sodium hydroxide. That means triglyceride and caustic soda react each other. In transesterification, triglyceride and methanol react with sodium hydroxide catalyst, right? Sodium hydroxide catalyst. They have a specific name and they have specific raw material and characteristic, right? But that's why I told the every chemical reaction. Do you remember the definition of chemical reaction? In the first day I explained the definition of chemical reaction. The chemical manufacturing process. A chemical manufacturing process is a large scale production process. Large scale production process with chemical conversion. It has a chemical conversion, right? Whatever reactant convert into new product, that's a chemical conversion. Reactant convert into different product, reactant characteristic and product characteristic different. Okay, it's a large scale production process with chemical conversion using raw material and energy. Do you remember the definition? Hari. Now the difference in paint production, don't have a specific chemical reaction like saponification, like transesterification. No specific chemical reaction. See, no chemical occur during paint manufacturing. It is an industry based on various chemicals, but in paint production using different types of chemical as raw material. That's why we consider the paint production also type of chemical industry. We have resources to establish in Sri Lanka. Okay, in this lesson we mainly discuss about possible industries in Sri Lanka, not all industries in worldwide. We are not going to discuss in this lesson. We only discussing specific industries with possibility to establish in Sri Lanka and maintain and continue in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan resources, with Sri Lankan resources. Okay, in paint production, don't have a specific chemical reaction. Don't have a specific chemical reaction like saponification and transesterification. But it's using, for this production process, use a lot of chemicals. Okay, that's why we call paint production is a chemical industry. Paint production is chemical industry. Actually, in paint production process, it's a actually mixing process. It's actual mixing process that we call easily mixing component that are non easily mixable. Normally, some chemicals are non-easily mixable. They are not mixing easily. They always try to separate. But in paint production, non-easily mixable compounds mixing in permanent way. Permanent way mean like this is a thing. Okay, now think different. Think it is a sample of. Think it is a paint bucket. Paint bucket. If it is successful paint production, if you got any sample from this point or this level or this level, all composition, that mean solvent and solvent binder and pigment particles and additive particles, all composition should be same. If it is separate, if it is changed, the production process fail. Okay. Actually, in paint production, the basic principle, the basic thing you need to remember, different chemicals mixing in permanent way. That's the main thing we doing in paint production. Different chemicals, solvent and different other chemicals mixing in permanent way. Again, if it is separate, production process fail. Okay. Separate when mix karne ka tama process. I got. Mix easily non-mixable compounds mixing in permanent way. Okay, that's the main process of paint production. Why we call it is a chemical manufacturing process? We using different chemicals. Any special chemical reaction, but it's use different chemicals and mixing in permanent way these chemicals. I got. Then ඔයාලගේ ගෙදරට paint එකක් ගෙනාවම මෙහෙම separate normally අපි දැන් liquid එකක් think this way. දැන් ඔය මේ ඔයාලගේ ගෙදරට paint එකක් ගෙනාවම ඒකේ මෙහෙම තියනවාද? This is a solid particle and this is a solvent. Are they separated to uniform solution? It's uniform solid. If it is separate, it's expired or whatever problem, whatever technical problem. If it is separate, okay. Normally, if it is optimum production, means successful production, every layers the composition should be same. Understood, Sarmia? Okay, up to now, okay? Hi. Okay. Okay, let's see what are the ingredients, what are the raw materials required for this mixing and production process of paints. Production process of paints. Okay, the main ingredient is a solvent. Solvent. We can use water or organic solvent. Remember, as solvent, we can use water or organic solvent. Organic solvent mean benzene, ether, carbon tetrachloride, different types of solvent, right? Organic solvent or organic solvent. So water. If it is as solvent, if you use water, that we called as a special name. What is that? Water use chemicals as solvent, emulsion or enamel. Emulsion paint. I will show. I will explain later. If we use organic solvent like benzene, ether, carbon tetrachloride, that we call as enamel paints. Enamel paints. Okay. Why we adding binders? Binders mean actually polymer compounds. Polymer compounds. In polymer lesson, I will explain what are the full story of polymer. We have to add some resin or polymer compounds as binder. Bind. I will explain the purpose there later. Especially we need compulsory pigment particles, pigments and additives to keep characteristics and filling agent to increase the quantity. To increase the quantity. Okay, you have to remember this percentage. Normally solvent we can change 30% to 80%. 30% to 80%. 30% to 80%. Binder make a මෙහෙමයි that we can change. If you use 30% solvent, binder we have to increase up to 50%. Pigments 5%. Now pigments we can increase up to 15%. Then it is 95. Additives 5%. මේ විදිහට තමයි percentage එක හැදෙන්නේ. Right? That we can change according to the type of the paint. This solvent percentage, binder percentage, pigment percentage, additive percentage can be changed in this range. Can be changed within this range. Solvent can be 30% to 80%. Binder 20% to 80%, 60%. Pigment 2% to 4%, 40%. Additive 0 to 5%. Additive 0 to 5%. Okay. Okay. Then what are the raw materials, ingredients required to paint production? First one, solvent, that is compulsory. Then solvents, pigments, binders, additives, filling agents. 5 ingredients, right? 5 ingredients. See what are the purpose of each ingredients, adding each ingredients. Okay, what is the purpose of adding solvents to the paint production? The solvent given flowing property. Without solvent, we can't apply. It is just a powder. It's just powder without solvent. Okay, the flowing property, viscosity, the flowing property of the paint is given by the solvent, right? The flowing property. So flowing property. When we apply this paint, in the drying process, this solvent will be evaporated. Solvent will be evaporated. I will show you. I will explain the drying process. It is evaporated. Evaporate. Bind. Bind. Actually, the binders are the compound attached to the surface, attached to the wall or whatever paint apply surface. Binders like this. That's the purpose of binders. Binders. Think just like this. Okay, like this. Think the binder is my pen is a binder or polymer compound. This polymer compound, retain pigments. May pigments think it is black color pigment. Okay, now this polymer is black color, right? With by adding pigments, right? It's retain pigments, and this polymer compound is attached with wall. Think that my board is a paint apply surface. This polymer compound attached with this board or surface, right? Okay, that's the purpose of polymer. That's the purpose of polymer. That's a function of polymer. Think this is a polymer compound. It's retain color. Think this is a coloring aid, pigments. Retain pigments, and with these pigments, this polymer compound attached to the whatever surface wall. In one side it attached to the surface, and other side it's in colors, pigments. That's how it's created dry solid layer. See, form solid dry film after solvent evaporates. Yes. Ensure adhesion of paints of the surface undergoes cross links between for durability. I will explain later. Okay. However, just understand the function of each ingredient. Solvent given flowing property. Flowing property. Apply paint apply this flowing property given by the solvent. What is the purpose of binder? In one side it is attached to the surface, and other hand it's retain colors, pigments, right? Pigments, it's provide color, just simple. Pigments provide colors, and different types of pigments we can use, organic and inorganic, different types, right? Okay, additives. What is the purpose of additives? Additives are the maintain the specific properties of paints. Specific properties. It's maintain specific properties, right? Drying time, stability, density, resistant to environment effect. This quality is given by different additive materials. These additive materials can be very paint type to type, right? Type to type, made different types of paints. Okay, I got. Just I simply explain. I will summarize what I explained up to now. The paint production very simple. Making full essay questions with soap production and biodiesel production. Just if you have basic knowledge that enough about paint production. Okay, paint production. In paint production, no any specific chemical reaction. No specific chemical reaction, but that what we call the paint is the paint production also chemical reaction. It use different more types of chemicals as ingredients. Actually, the paint production is a mixing process, permanent mixing process, easily non-mixing compounds, non-mixing chemicals, right? Okay, what are the ingredients required for paint production? Solvent for giving flowing property, binders, attach and retain pigments. What else? Pigments give different colors. Pigment. What else? Additive materials. What is the purpose? Additive materials to maintain the quality and properties of the paints. Maintain the property of the paint, and it is not given this filling agents. I have not given filling agents increase the quantity, right? To increase the quantity sometimes. To increase the quantity. To increase the quantity. Okay. The drying process of paint. Okay. The drying process mean the paint mean actually the mixture of above materials, right? Above chemicals, solvent, binder, pigments, filling agent and additive agents. It's a just mixture. Okay, think this is the clearly understand. This is that was exam question. Make a halt in exam. Now think this is a paint applying surface. This is your wall. This is your wall. Okay, if we apply any type of emulsion or enamel paint, they are the binder. They are the binder. They are the binders. They are the binders, right? This binder contain, think it is yellow color paint. It's a yellow color paint, right? They are the binders or polymer compounds, right? Okay, they are the binders. And this is a surface. Between these binders, it's contain solvent particle. Between binders, they are the binders, and this is a between these binders, it contains solvent compound, solvent material, right? Solvent is a liquid, its compounds contained within this between binders. Okay, in the drying process, after we apply, what happened? Start to evaporate whatever solvent. If it is water vapor release. If it is organic solvent, it's evaporate, right? Particular solvent evaporate. Solvent evaporate. Solvent evaporate. Solvent evaporates. When it is evaporate, what happened to binders? Binders try to come close like this. I will draw here. Binders try to the same surface, binders try to come like this. Okay, binders compacted because no more both solvent molecule again, because they gradually evaporate in the drying process. When they evaporate, these binder compounds, binder molecules compacted, then it's make as a dry layer. That we called as the drying process of paints. I got understood. After that, they make cross linkage between binders. Cross linkage means they make bonds like this, cross bonds, and make as a dry layer. That we call as dry paint layer. I got. That's why අපි paint එකක් apply කර ගමන්ම just is it given accurate actual color? No, it's very light color, right? When we just apply paint, after when it is drying, it's giving original color. Do you have experience? Samya. අපි apply කරපු ගමන් මේ color එක තියෙනවා. Yeah, that's the reason. When solvent molecules evaporate, these binder polymers compacted, and they create cross linkage between them. Cross linkage means bonds between them. Then it is produced dry paint layer on the surface. This dry paint layer called as a dry paint. Understood, Tanya? Okay. Okay, read this. The solvent and polymer together provide the required viscosity for application of the paints. After apply, solvent evaporates. Polymer molecules come closer and undergo cross linkage. Yeah, that's I explained. Then it is produced dry film formation. The polymer binds strongly to the surface and hold pigment particles in place. In one side, polymers combine to the surface, combined with wall. In other side, it's retain paints. That's how these polymers produce dry paint layer. Right? Understood? Dihini? Up to now, okay? Amina? Okay, do you know paints we can categorize into two types. Paints normally types of paints. What are the types? Matte and shine, right? Matte and shine. What's the meaning of matte? Matte. Matte කියලා කියන්නේ අපි matte colors. Matte colors little bit dark rough surface, right? Rough okay colors තියෙන that we call as matte. And smooth shiny. Smooth ඒවට අපි කියනවා gloss කියලා නැත්නම් shiny. Gloss or shine. Yes. Yes. What's the meaning of matte? Matte mean, remember, matte color mean high pigment content. High pigment and low may binders. No need to remember binders. Remember matte mean the pigment concentration is greater. Pigment concentration greater. That's why matte. Normally matte colors are expensive because they have lot of pigments chemicals. Shiny mean it's low pigment and high binder content. It's make shiny surface. And remember titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is a chemical that's provide titanium dioxide that was 4 to 5 times exam MCQ question. Titanium dioxide TiO2. TiO2 is a main chemical that used as a coloring chemical, pigment chemical that's used to provide pure white color. Provide pure white color like this. It's provide pure white color. Pure white color, remember. Titanium dioxide. And paints, mainly two types. What are the types? Matte and shiny. Matte mean high pigment content. Shiny mean low pigment content, remember. Low pigment concentration. Yeah, according to the according to solvents, again paints two types, emulsion paints and enamel paint that I already explained. If you use water, it is emulsion. Its environmental pollution is low because in the drying process, emulsion paint only release water vapor. But enamel paint release in the organic solvents used in enamel paints, organic solvent vapor during drying process, it is possible to have some environment effect. Emulsion paints are more environment friendly. And the other thing, emulsion paints we can't apply for outside. outdoor purposes. Why? They are water soluble. Emulsion paints. Emulsion paints indoor purposes වලට විතරයි ගන්න. Only for indoor purpose. Emulsion paints. If you need outdoor purpose, we have to go with enamel paint. Remember, right? Understood? Enamel paint not dissolved in water. Not dissolved in water. Right. Yeah, they are the fillers. Filling agents. We can increase the quantity, bulk of the paint production to reduce cost. Commonly used filling agent is calcium carbonate. Remember, calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate just calcium carbonate mean one of the I forgot the word. Lime, calcium carbonate, lime. හුණු කියලා කියන්නේ හුණු ගල්. Okay. They are the additives, filling agents, calcium carbonate mostly used in paint production, and thickness are the main additive agents. Increase the viscosity, thickness of the paint, and wetting agents improve the interaction between binder, pigments, and filling. Yeah, they all are additive agents. Additive agents maintain the properties. This thickness and wetting agents, they all are additive. They maintain the quality. Okay. Okay, this is a mixing process. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, the uniform distribution of all particles is the main purpose of in this mixing. Mixing components are not mixed simultaneously, they are added in specific sequences. Yes, that sequences can be changed according to the paint type, right? Change the order can result in undesirable properties in the final paint products. This mixing process, thoroughly mixing in uniform way, permanent uniform way, it is very important. It should be permanent uniform distribution. Permanent. With time, in the storage cannot be separate. If it is separate, it's fail. Permanent distribution, uniform distribution is compulsory. Surface specific paint properties, the additional things for surface exposed to the sunlight, we have to use polymers UV resistance because sunlight contains some ultraviolet rays. With these ultraviolet rays, these polymers can be damaged. If it is alkaline surface, that means cement wall, alkaline surface, we have to avoid polyester based polymers. If it is sunlight exposed, we have to avoid UV resistant. We have to avoid UV. We have to use UV resistance polymers. If it is alkaline surface, polyester based polymers are not suitable. We have to use other one. This because the ester bonds, polyester polymers contain ester bonds because they are lipids. No? They lipids, they contain ester bond. These ester bonds break down due to this alkalinity of the surface. It's reducing the durability. Both if you use UV resistance and polyester based, the durability is the main thing. If you need more durability, we have to avoid use this type binders. We have to use suitable binders according to the surface. Are you good? Hi. Ester bonds mean ranga In lipid lesson, we discussed different lipids type we discussed. If you got the common lipid type triglyceride. Triglyceride is formed between glycerol and fatty acid. One glycerol and three fatty acid. Okay, between this glycerol and fatty acid, it's formed special bond type that we called as ester bonds. Rang, you have to go to lipid lesson. It is biomolecules karinad. Biomolecules. Quickly complete. Now you have another 90 days. Okay, paint is complete. Do you have any doubt? You can ask. Salmia? Any doubt? Okay, the next one is the most important one. Most probably this time, essay question coming eco biodiesel, if not phosphate fertilizer. Sure. Others, any doubt? Amina, Dihini? Okay. Okay, let's move to our fourth production process. The fourth production process is phosphate fertilizer production. Okay, do you know, BST students already know these details, I think. Do you know what are the main requirements to plant development? BST, Fatima. What are, now think this is a plant. This is a plant, right? A simple plant. Short term plant. අපි හිතමු tomato වගේ. Just tomato. Okay, or chili type short term 3 to 4 months plants. Okay, whatever plant, what are the main requirements to grow? Fatima? Quickly. Dihini? What are the main? I am asking nutritions, right? Nutritions. Nutritions. Yeah. Do you know nutritions? This plant nutritions, we can classify it into two categories. The first one, macronutrients and micronutrients. Okay, micronutrients, they required in very small quantities that we can forget. Okay, do you know macronutrients for plant development? Tanya, macronutrients. Yes, very good. NPK. NPK. Actually, main requirements are hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But they are not limited because actual macronutrients are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen because water provide hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon dioxide provide carbon, right? Carbon dioxide provide carbon. Therefore, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen not limited. Secondly, the limited macronutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium in short form that we call as NPK. NPK. After carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, the main nutrition nitrogen. Do you know what is the main fertilizer? What is the main chemical fertilizer provide nitrogen? Api chemical fertilizer very good. Urea. Urea is the main chemical fertilizer provide nitrogen. Urea. Urea. Okay, the second macronutrition after carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, the first one nitrogen that's provided by urea. The second one is phosphorus. Okay, do you know what is the main phosphate fertilizer provide phosphorus to the plants? Phosphate fertilizer provide phosphorus to the plants? Joel? Very good. That we called as TSP. TSP mean triple super phosphate. Very good. Triple super phosphate. No, Joel. Epavylapatite is just raw material. It is not a fertilizer. Now, in this lesson, we discussing the production of TSP from epavylapatite. Epavylapatite we can't use for short-term plants. I will explain now. Okay, I'm asking about fertilizers. Just finalize fertilizer. Okay, TSP. මේකත් කියන්නේ අපි මොනවගෙන්ද potassium දෙන්නේ? Just basic knowledge. Potassium nitrate, good. Potassium nitrate, there is another one, muriate of potash. අපි red powders කියලා කියන්නේ. Tanya, දන්නවද? Muriate of potash. Yes. Yeah, MOP. Okay, තව වර්ග තියෙනවා. They are the main fertilizers, right? Main fertilizers to provide macronutrients. Okay, among that, this TSP, triple super phosphate, very important. Triple super phosphate, very important. Because now urea, muriate of potash, actually in Sri Lanka, resources limited. We have resources, but they are limited. But for the production of TSP, we have a special drone in Sri Lanka that is located in Eppaval. That is located in Eppaval. Eppaval, it's just like a mountain. It's just a large area with the soil contain apatite. These apatite are the main ingredients main raw materials to produce triple super phosphate. Remember, phosphate fertilizers are source of phosphorus needed for plant growth. Apatite mineral can be used to produce phosphate fertilizer. This apatite mineral is the main raw materials to produce phosphate fertilizer. That means triple super phosphate and other types of phosphate fertilizer. Apatite mineral is a raw material. Okay, if you got the epavylapatite, soil, it's contain all three types of apatites. All three types of appetite. The first one we called as a fluoroappetite. 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 Okay, sorry. Fluoroappetite. Fluoroappetite, remember, fluoroappetite chemical name Ca5 PO4 trivice fluoro. Calcium phosphate Ca5 PO4 trivice is the appetite. Fluoroappetite mean F with F. Remember. මේ appetite එක කෙලින්ම ගත්තොත් appetite mineral means Ca5. Remember Ca5 PO4 trivice X. X mean එයා කාත් එක්ක හරි combine වෙලා තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. If you got fluoroappetite, it is combined with fluorine. There is another appetite type that we call as, please note down this. මේකත් ලියා ගන්න. මේකත් ලියන්න. If you got there is another one, fluoroappetite. This fluoroappetite chemical formula CF5PO4 trivice Ca. Chloro. Cl, chlorine. There is another one in Epawal appetite, hydroxyapatite. Hydroxyapatite mean simple calcium phosphate OH. Hydroxy. Okay, they are the main. That means all appetite types available in Epawal appetite zone, right? Okay, note down quickly. Complete. Hari? Yeah, ප්‍රකාශත් මේක තමයි මේ මීට කලින් ඉවර කර. Okay. හරි. හරි. Others complete. This formula very important. Calcium phosphate, fluoro. That is fluoroapatite, chloroapatite, and hydroxyapatite. All those apatite types available in apatite resource draw. Right? Salmiya complete. Hari. Joel complete. Hari. Now, the main thing you have to remember, we have a appetite resource, but it's contain this power appetite contain 34 to 40% of appetite phosphate. 34 to 40% of phosphate. Normally, this soil, just soil, okay. I will show you the drone. It's just a mountain. Okay, and kandak okay. See? Okay, that is a draw. These crystals are the apatite. These crystals are the apatite. Mary? Okay, we have a large resource. No? See? They all apatite. They are just soil. The soil contains 34 to 40% of phosphate. It's actually calcium phosphate, but we can separate phosphate and use for production process. But the problem is this 34 to 40% of apatite swelling, phosphate swelling, the water soluble phosphate amount only 5 to 6%. The water soluble amount is very low. Due to that, this apatite we can't directly use for short-term plants like chili, potato, tomato type short-term plants. We can't use this academy. Vegetable plants use කරන්න බෑ. 3 months, 4 months harvest again. Short-term plants, for short-term plants we can't use this apatite directly. Why? Coconut, mango, long-term plants we can't use because it's within several years they can absorb slowly. But short-term plants we can't apply this phosphate fertilizer. The reason they have water solubility 5 to 6%. Up to now, okay. The water solubility 5 to 6%. Understood? That's the main issue. Vini, Fatima. Okay, the water solubility very low. It is approximate 5%. Therefore, the main issue we can't use for short-term plants. Use long-term plants actually it's no problem because it's with time it is slowly absorbed. But short-term plants no more time to absorb. No more time to absorb. Within few months we are going to get collect harvesting. Hari. Okay, therefore, we need some chemical reaction. We need some chemical reaction to increase this water solubility. If you need to use for short-term plants, we should, after chemical conversion, we can increase the water solubility. Okay, it is very simple. The first step, the pulverization. What's the meaning of pulverization? Pulverization means just grind this. Just grind into powder. Powder means small compounds to increase the surface area. To increase the surface area. That pulverize apatite mineral to required amount to increase surface area. The reaction is efficient to increase surface area. The pulverization means it's just crushed into small particles, right? Small particles. Small particles. And the following methods are used to chemical conversion of powder, that means pulverize apatite into the required amount for increase the water solubility. If you follow any below method, we can increase the water solubility. Remember. Okay, it is very simple method. It is very simple. We can react with powerful acid. React with powerful acid. React with powerful acid with example H2SO4 or HCl or nitric. They are the mainly. Okay, if we react with powerful acid H2SO4 or HCl, we can increase the water solubility. Then why we can't produce normally in Sri Lanka? Then Thamat, this superphosphate production from apatite mineral, it is very low production process, very low amount. Normally, phosphate fertilizer we do mainly import to the Sri Lanka. What's the reason? In Sri Lanka, we don't have any acid production industry. අපිට acid industries නැහැ. We don't have any acid production industries, right? Normally, nowadays, currently we doing these apatite minerals exporting to other countries and already produce superphosphate, triple superphosphate import to the Sri Lanka. That's we doing that with practicing not only now, before 20-30 years also we doing the same thing. Still we doing same thing because we don't have any production industry, or we don't have any acid production industries. I got that's the main issues in Sri Lanka. That's the main issue. ඒක නිසා තමයි මේ pandemic or whatever crisis situation, the fertilizer also getting a huge problem for Sri Lanka, because economic issue එකක් ආවත්, pandemic or whatever global crisis එකක් ආවත්, same as fuel, energy, the fertilizer also become a problem for us, because in Sri Lanka we don't have self-sufficient fertilizer production. We always depend on other production process. We always import. I got they are the main issues, right? Understood? Clear up to now? Okay, that's the first method. Give me a second. Sorry. Okay, what I told you, the main issue in phosphate fertilizer, it's water solubility. The water solubility 5 to 6%. Therefore, we have to increase water solubility if you need to use for short-term plants, right? To how to increase water solubility? It's very simple process. Pulverize, that means crush into small particles to increase surface area. Then react with powerful acid. Very simple. React with powerful acid like sulfuric or hydrochloric. But the problem in Sri Lankan condition, we don't have any acid production industry. Therefore, as practice, what we doing? Export apatite and import already produce TSP, triple superphosphate. Understood? Hari. As a alternative methods, make additional methods. We can react with sodium carbonate. Remember, sodium carbonate, react with sodium carbonate, but they are different. I will explain. React with, that's the main method. That's the main method. If you want TSP as final product, that's the main method. React with HClO, H2SO4, and nitric also. Okay, nitric also powerful acid. Nitric also, okay, HNO3. HNO3. එකක් දාගන්න. HNO3. React with powerful acid, that is the main. එතකොට steps දෙකයි තියෙන්නේ මේ. Pulverize and react with powerful acid. Only 2 steps. But now the problem is we don't have acid, therefore we have optional methods. We have optional methods. React with sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate means NaCO3. Sodium carbonate. Na2, no? Na2CO3. Okay, sodium carbonate means another mineral type. Another mineral, that one also we can find Sri Lankan condition, but it has a issue. I'll explain it. The additional other methods we have, react with serpentine. React with serpentine. See, serpentine. Serpentine. Serpentine also mineral. That one also we can find in Sri Lanka. That one also we can find in Sri Lanka. Final one, react with organic acid in peat. Peat mineral. Peat mineral. Okay, they are the possible methods, but the problem is if we react with sodium carbonate, serpentine, or organic acids, we can't get the solubility like TSP. Triple superphosphate we can't produce. If you want triple superphosphate, we have to go with powerful acid. TSP එන්නේ මේ වගේ විතරයි. TSP. TSP means triple superphosphate. It is highly water soluble. Highly water soluble, 80 to 90% water soluble. You can just apply, they are dissolving. They are dissolving. But if you use additional extra methods, again, the water solubility is low. Low water solubility. Understood? Understood. Just one method is enough, right? The pulverize and one of this method. Understood? Dini? Understood? Sarmya, Udanya, up to now okay. Joel, Kabir. ඊට පස්සේ කියනවා but due to the non-production of sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sodium carbonate also we don't have. එතකොට first two methods අපිට කරන්න බෑ. We have only serpentine and organic acid. They are not available in Sri Lanka, therefore we have to import. Sometimes actually that's the issue. මේක තමයි ඇත්තම practical issue එක. හරිද? We can import as it. Now we don't have acid production industry. Therefore, we can sulfuric or hydrochloric we can import and we can produce. We have appetite and we can react and produce. Sometimes import and production total cost greater than the import cost. අපි හිතන්නේ මෙහෙම අපි import කරලා TSP 1 kilogram එකක් හදනවා 100 rupees වල. හැබැයි we can import 60 rupees already prepared TSP. That's the main issue. That's why we importing containers. We can't produce with low production cost because we don't have acid industries. I got okay. They are the main real practical issues. Okay, but in local condition we have a mineral serpentine. Serpentine, remember this is a chemical name, serpentine. That is present in Ukuala area. That's the problem is we can't produce reacting with serpentine. We can't produce TSP. It is the produce phosphate fertilizer not soluble like TSP, but we can increase the solubility in some level. We can increase the solubility in some level. We can't produce TSP, right? Okay, conversion of water insoluble calcium phosphate, that means apatite, to water soluble calcium dehydrogen phosphate by using sulfuric hydrochloric acid called as complete alpamylation. Complete alpamylation. Oh, there is another name. Complete. There is another name. Complete acidification, because acidification. Complete acidification. Please note down this. Both names correct. Complete acidification or complete alpamylation. Both names correct. Okay. Now in phosphate production, what is the chemical name? In soap production, saponification. Biodiesel production, transesterification. Phosphate fertilizer production, acidification or alpamylation. Both names correct. Acidification. Just react with acid. That's why called as acidification. Acidification, right? Acidification. Paint production, no specific name, right? Paint production, no specific chemical reaction. The phosphate fertilizer that's obtained called as superphosphate, or sometimes that we called as TSP, triple superphosphate. Triple superphosphate. Okay. I'll give you these equations. Please note down this. This is triple superphosphate production process. මේකත් අහලා තියෙනවා. X mean whatever apatite type, right? whatever apatite type, react with H2SO4. This acidification process. Acidification process. It is produced calcium hydrophosphate. Calcium hydrophosphate. It is water soluble. This one not water soluble. Calcium calcium sulfate, calcium sulfate, and HX. HX. Let's balance this. මෙතනට දෙකක් එනවා. 7. The balance in stoichiometric values 3, 7, 2. Okay, this is the acidification reaction. Okay, if you use HCl, this is reaction. Calcium, phosphate, whatever type, react with HCl. That one also produce calcium hydrophosphate. That is water soluble. That is a superphosphate. Plus calcium chloride now. Calcium chloride. මෙයාගෙන් හැදෙන chloride නේ. Calcium chloride plus HF. 2, 14, 3, 7, 2. Okay. Note down this acidification reaction, alpamylation reaction. Clearly note down. Okay, that's the end of phosphate fertilizer production. Phosphate fertilizer, we have a lot of resources, but the problem, these resources are not water soluble as for short-term plants. To increase the water solubility, we can use acidification reaction. They ask this. No, they have asked the chemical equation, but they not expected balancing. Like balance එකක් නම් expect කරලා තිබෙන්නේ. If you can mention these chemical names that you know. Complete. Okay. Sharon, complete. Right. If you can remember just chemical names, that enough, right? මේ දෙක නම් දැන් පුළුවන්. Apatite plus sulfuric, it produces calcium hydrophosphate and calcium sulfate and whatever product. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අපිට මෙතන use කරන එකත් එක්ක depend වෙනවා. Fluoro, hydrochlorine or whatever. Apatite react with HCl, calcium hydrophosphate and calcium chloride, right? That enough. Hi. Okay. 4 productions completed. Soap production, biodiesel production, paint production and fertilizer production. Let's move into our final production, paper manufacturing process. It is very simple. Paper manufacturing process. Okay. With paper production process, the industrial chemistry complete. Industrial chemistry completed mean definitely if you complete all these points as a short note, if you make as a short note, definitely 7.5 marks easily you can score in SAPA. Therefore, don't take it easy. Very important lesson. Our next lesson, natural product as well. Natural products. මේ වගේම මේ size lesson එකක්. Natural products. Easy lesson. Okay. Papers. Paper manufacturing process also don't have specific chemical reaction, chemical conversion, but it use different chemicals, same as paint production, right? Okay, what are the raw materials for paint production? Okay, mainly wood chips. Main raw materials are wood chips that mainly depend on eucalyptus and pinus tree. Eucalyptus and pinus trees. And additionally, we can use straws. Also, we can use old papers. Also, we can use. Okay, the paper production mainly 4 steps. 4 steps. It is not given, right? Paper production mainly 4 steps. Note down. The first one is a pulp preparation. Pulp preparation. Pulp preparation. The second one is the sheet preparation. The third one is the wetting. 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 And finally, drying and coating. Drying, wetting, drying and coating. Drying and coating. Finally, we have to apply coating to get this shine. Shine. Hari. Okay, I'll step by step explain what is the manufacturing process of paper. There are mainly 4 steps. They are the main steps of paper production. I have like a mixer they are the 4 main steps in paper production. Main steps of paper production. Main steps of paper production: pulp preparation, sheet preparation, wetting, drying and coating. 4 main steps. Okay, the first step, the pulp preparation. The pulp preparation mainly by these raw materials. The first step, cut into small chips. Actually, these wood materials cut into small chips. Cut into small chips, and using mechanical or chemical methods, we can make as a pulp. That's our first step. Make as a pulp. Okay, I'll show you. Amedin, the methods of pulp preparation. Mechanical methods, it is 90 yield of 9% pulp is obtained. Wood is physically ground to separate fibers. Disadvantage, lignin remains with fiber. That's a disadvantage. You can read them. Okay, they are the chemical preparation. We can add chemicals to remove lignin and cellulose fibers. Okay, whatever chemical or mechanical method, we can prepare as a pulp. After prepare in pulp, it is just brown color thick solution, thick pulp. Okay, brown color. If it is make as sheet from this pulp, what is the color of this? It is brown color. It can become brown color. Then the next step is the bleaching. The bleaching is the next step. Bleaching is the next step. All chemical conditions I have given here, they are the chemicals. Okay, this is a bleaching. For bleaching process, we can use chlorine gas, chlorine dioxide, sodium hypochlorite. One of these methods we can use. Mainly we use chlorinated method. Okay, when we use chlorine, we can bleach. Bleaching means burn the color and convert into burn brown color and convert to white color. Then this white color obtained. May white color එක ගන්න අපි papers වල. This white color obtained by the bleaching process. In the bleaching process, right? Bleaching process. Okay, what is the first step we done? We have done the pulp preparation. Wood particles cut into small chips, cut as small chips. Then pulp preparation using mechanical or chemical method. Pulp preparation. Make as a pulp, right? After that, add bleaching agent to break down brown color. Chlorinated compound or sodium hypochlorite, hydrogen peroxide, they are the main compounds to as bleaching agents. Bleaching agent, right? Now, the next step, we have to add filling agents. Why we add filling agent? To increase the quantity. To increase the quantity. Okay, they are the filling agents. The main filling agents in Sri Lanka, clay, matte, clay. Additionally, we can use calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and titanium dioxide also very important. Remember that in paint production, titanium dioxide is a pigment to give pure white color. But in paper production, titanium dioxide is a filling agent. ඒක පටල ගන්න එපා MCQ වල ගොඩාක් අහලා තියෙනවා. Titanium dioxide in paper production, it's not a coloring agent, it's a filling agent, right? Okay, that's actually important things. Okay, after adding filling agents, we can create, we can increase the thickness of this solution. The pulp thickness is increasing, right? Then after that, we can prepare as a sheets. Different machines we have to prepare as a sheet. After sheet preparation, this wetting and drying coating, we have to use several cycles, wetting and drying, wetting, drying, wetting, drying, for increase stability. To increase stability, and finally we have to apply coating. Finally, we have to apply coating to get the shine. To get the shine. Actually, in your syllabus, given data about this bleaching and filling agents, a pulp එක ගැන විතරයි ඔයාලට දීලා තියෙන්නේ. The further process is not given in your syllabus. Okay, that's a paper production. What are the steps? Pulp preparation, sheet preparation, wetting, drying, and coating. Wetting, drying, and coating. In pulp preparation, what are the raw material? Wood chips cut into small pieces. Then preparation pulp by mechanical or chemical methods. Add bleaching agents to increase the white color. Then add filling agents, calcium carbonate, clay, or titanium dioxide. Then increase the thickness, prepare as sheet, and finally wetting and drying, coating. Understood? You can read these mechanical further details I have given. You can read them. Make chemicals use karna vidiya. Yeah, that you can read. Okay, do you have any doubt? Industrial chemistry. That's the end of industrial chemistry. Very simple. Finally, do you know different color of papers? Sometimes the newspaper color, it brownish yellow color, right? But A4 color, pure white color. A4 එකක් ගත්තොත් A4 also different. Normal our tube print කරන ඒවා බලන්න, it's pure white color. A gazette, how about the color? Yellowish color, right? That depend on this bleaching quality of the pulp. Bleaching quality of the pulp. Bleaching quality. Some, if we use completely bleach, we can produce pure white color papers, right? That depend on the bleaching quality. This pure color, pure white color, completely bleach papers little bit expensive. This yellowish color one is cheap because it's low production cost. Okay, understood? Okay, if you have any doubt related industry chemistry, now you can ask. No doubt. Okay, please go through again this lesson, and you have some question in Tuesday exam. You have some MCQ question as well as essay question in industry chemistry lesson, and now you can read it. And not only this lesson, you have to go through work energy power lesson, mechanical properties of lesson, especially force lesson to face essay physics essay part. Okay, any doubt, Sarmia, Tanya? Hari. Okay, let's meet next Tuesday with our exam. Goodbye. Good night.